Hello and hello. Thank you for joining me. How you guys doing? So I found this video that looks pretty funny. It's these stories from these Germans, I guess. They're funny stories about American tourists. You know, why Americans lose their minds in Germany and why Germans don't care. And these are compiled from like online forums and stuff. Anyway, it's some like AI voice reading it, so I guess I'll just read them. I thought these would be fun to react to. Anyway, I work as a train conductor for Deutsche Bahn on the regional express route between Stuttgart and Munich. Last Tuesday, an American tourist boarded the first-class carriage carrying a standard second-class ticket. I inspected his pass and told him calmly, "This carriage requires a first-class upgrade." He leaned back, smiled broadly, and asked if he could just stay put because the train was barely half full anyway. Oh my gosh. It drives me nuts when people don't understand, like, I mean, it just goes back to what most people learn in kindergarten, you know? It's like, well, if we let everybody do that, then first of all, no one would ever pay for a first-class ticket because you could just get it for free. Second, everybody would be up here trying to do it. So, no. I looked him dead in the eye and said, no. Is that the whole story, or does it? Oh no, it goes on. He sat there frozen for several seconds, waiting for me to soften the blow or explain further. When I stood silently waiting for him to move, his wife leaned over and whispered, "Honey, why is he being so aggressive?" Oh my gosh, to you. I wasn't being aggressive at all. I was simply stating a structural reality. I love that. I love German people. And it is absolutely hilarious, the cultural difference. Like, I can so imagine this being true. The Germans just like saying the fact, you know. The Americans kind of need it to be dressed up a little bit, you know. Oh, I'm so sorry, but I can't do, you know, it's just like, you don't have to explain it all. Just no. Nope, not how it works. The ticket didn't match the seat. There was no emotion involved, no malice, and no personal judgment. And that is what's kind of funny, is that like the lack of emotion in American culture seems angry, you know? Like we expect like people to break bad news with a smile, basically. Yet to them, a single unvarnished word felt like an open declaration of war. This exact friction plays out thousands of times every day across Germany. Americans are raised in a culture where customer interactions are wrapped in thick layers of emotional bubble wrap, performative warmth, and decorative pleasantries. Okay, all right. It's going a little far for my taste. Like, sometimes it is performative, but sometimes it's not. I'd say most of the time it's not. Germans, by contrast, treat speech as a precision instrument designed purely to transfer information from point A to point B. When these two philosophies... I agree with that. Like, of course, to an extent. I'm sure not all communication in Germany is that, like, cold. But culturally, you know, there is a distinction there between America and Germany. So when you get those two mixing, I can imagine it's funny. When these two philosophies collide, Americans hear cold hostility, where Germans are merely offering maximum efficiency. That's what it's about. Communicate the necessary information in the least amount of words. Okay? What's the answer? No! That's it! Have a nice day. Don't even have to say that. Just, nope. Not how it works. We aren't being rude, we are simply speaking fluent fact. Germans are fluent in facts. I like that. Take my friend Lucas, who manages a hardware store in Nuremberg. An American expat came in holding a heavily used electric lawnmower that he had purchased 8 months prior. He claimed he wanted a full refund because the machine felt slightly too heavy for his lawn. What does that even mean? It was too heavy for his lawn. Anyway, Lucas checked the receipt, saw the date, and said directly, "The statutory return window expired 7 months ago." It's a long time. So he had a 1-month return window, and it's been 8 months. All right. The American blinked and said, "Right, but surely you can make a sensible exception for a loyal customer." Lucas replied, "No, the policy is absolute." In what world in 2026 would a store modify its return policy just for you. Like, this sounds like something out of 1912. When like individual, like the store owner might actually be the one you're talking to behind the counter. Obviously, even then, they have no obligation to alter their policy, but like maybe they could. Like, you're just gonna ask the manager, hey, why don't you change your return policy and just throw it out the window for me? The customer's face flushed bright red as he began lecturing Lucas on the fundamental principles of American hospitality. What? That would never fly in America. In 2020, you can't just walk in, hey, I know this is out of the return window, but I want to return it. Can't do that. They might, like, tell you no more nicely, like, break it to you very softly. Like, oh, I'm sorry, but no, we can't make any exceptions, But they're not gonna just let you return it. He argued that refusing a return over a minor administrative detail was proof that German businesses fundamentally despise consumers. Lucas stood behind the counter in complete silence, utterly bewildered by the drama. He hadn't attacked the man's character or insulted his intelligence. He had simply recited a legally binding operational boundary. To Lucas, arguing against a printed rule was as absurd as shouting at a falling rainstorm. Another classic example happened to my sister Hannah, who works as a senior front desk clerk at a boutique hotel in Dresden. An American guest walked up to her counter at 3 a.m. asking if she could personally fry him 2 fresh eggs. Hannah explained politely that the kitchen staff wouldn't arrive until 6, but offered him fresh fruit from the lobby display. That's nice. The guest crossed his arms and snapped, so you're telling me you won't help a starving guest? I must say, the fact that we're getting these stories like third hand, sister Hannah, I don't know, but this shit absolutely would never fly here in America. The front desk clerk at a hotel is not going to fry you eggs at 3 a.m. Who are these fucking idiots? Sorry to curse. She replied, I am telling you the kitchen is locked. Even if it wasn't locked, that would be, it doesn't matter. Say, I'm the front desk clerk. What are you talking about? Go fry your own eggs. Oh my God. The guest immediately posted a scathing review online claiming Hannah was cold, heartless, and completely unsuited for hospitality work. He genuinely believed she was holding a secret frying pan under the desk out of sheer personal spite. What Americans fail to grasp is that German service workers do not view themselves as actors obliged to stage a theatrical performance for your comfort. We respect your time far too much to waste it on fake promises, empty apologies, or impossible guarantees. This fundamental disconnect creates an endless cycle of mutual confusion. The American expects emotional reassurance, while the German offers hard reality. The American interprets the absence of enthusiasm as active rejection. True. While the German interprets the American's emotional bargaining as an illogical attempt. I will say, and interrupt, that by the same token, the American interprets the lack of enthusiasm as active rejection. True. But also, the German interprets the enthusiasm of the American as being insincere. Because that's not, it's not normal in their culture. That's what I have come to understand. The German interprets the American's emotional bargaining as an illogical attempt to bypass reality. It is a clash between a culture built on salesmanship and a culture built on engineering. That's an interesting way to put it. Neither side is inherently wrong, but without a translation key, simple interactions turn into full-blown diplomatic incidents. Yeah, this basically is describing the Trump and Mertz relationship, actually. Mertz will just state a fact like, yeah, that was a total failure what America has done in Iran, huh? That didn't go according to plan. And Trump's like, how could you say that? It's like, well, it's just obvious on its face. It's a fact. I think that was actually a pretty insightful, interesting, discussion and stories, anecdotes that exemplify, a real difference in German and American cultures. Granted, it is definitely dangerous to paint a brush across an entire huge group of people, whether it's Germans or Americans. But still an interesting cultural difference. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.